Hello world, today is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. It's around 11:15 a.m. and this is another 10-minute vlog, which is a 10-minute raw unedited talk about what is like top of mind. And I was really inspired to talk about, record some thoughts about a couple things. One of them is like getting to this idea of like what is the state of your frequency as like this really important discovery of like your baseline kind of like frequency. How do you feel? Like how do you conceive mentally and physically in your body of your story in where you are in your story? And this is amazing if you've heard of the concept of somatic therapy, which was developed, I believe, in like the 70s. And there's a researcher that was studying like polar bears and how they got over their physical traumas through this kind of like shaking. And a lot of animals do this. They like shake to get over some traumatic experience, like being chased by a predator. And I've just like been really fascinated by this idea and how we as individuals and humans can really like clear our nervous system. And one of the ways is like somatic therapy, which is like you shake your whole body. Another way is like to do like really intense exercise, and that like really is another way to clear out your nervous system. Excuse me. And I mean like David Goggins style, like running an ultra marathon or like a marathon, just pushing yourself to your physical limits. That really clears out your frequency. And so you can call it frequency, you can call it a vibrational state, or physical, mental state, your identity, your story, your self-image. These are all like kind of similar, but they are kind of like a baseline kind of your concept of where you are in the world. So we as individuals can discover so much through being like questioned and through being asked questions and through being put into different situations. Like and how we react, how we decide, what we say, that really determines who we are. That really reveals who we are and what we know, what we're capable of, what we're about. So testing yourself. If you have a mentor that just quizzes you and guides you to another state, to a teacher, teach you to new things, this is like powerful. This is how we learn, and this is how we grow, and this is really how we can track our own progress. My ankle is healing, if you've noticed. It's already been a week and 1 day since the injury last Monday. Yeah. So talking about like this idea of your frequency, your somatic therapy, how it can clear your frequency, your vibrational state, your self-image or concept, and how it is critical to your life, and how things like asking or just testing yourself, being asked questions and being put into situations where you have to decide, or you have to speak, or you have to make a decision. That's how you reveal your frequency, your real state. That's how you get tested. That's how you get like testimony. So and now in these vlogs are like a record in time, and it's like a 10-minute slice of life, a day in the life, and they reveal like really about me, like where I am at and where am I at in this journey of life. And we have a starting point and an end point to our lives, state of where we begin and when we end, death. So this is a feedback mechanism that allows you to stay on track to where you want to go. The second big topic that I really wanted to talk about is vibe coding a 3D MMO, massively multiplayer online game, where we have the ability to interact with AI avatars that are able to question us and are able to test us and able to guide us, be our mentors. And of course, like have like crypto native like tokens, so that it just becomes massively available, and there's that reward mechanism of people wanting to be in this world of like having real in-game currencies that have real value. So that's just possible, and right now it's possible with the technology that we have, and with the ability of AI to code for us as coding assistants. That really just makes it even more possible, and it just requires like somebody to just be like, this is the future and we have to make it happen. So it just in the same way that Steve Jobs was like taken to the Palo Alto Research Center and saw the first GUI, graphical user interface, the first desktop with a window screens and mouse and networked computers, meaning like an internet. They're all connected. And he was like, of course, this is obvious. This is the way that all computers will be. It's obvious this is the future. And right now, like, it's obvious, like, you just put on the headset and you have like another layer, another universe, another three-dimensional space where you can physically have this immersive experience of talking to another human, and you have their facial expressions, and you have that immersive experience of presence, and then you're able to simulate any kind of environment, and you're able to simulate any kind of conversation, and you're able to be guided, mentored personally by this AI, this historical character, this author of a book or something like that. Like, you don't have to read a book, you can talk to the author of the book. You don't have to read about Plato's work, you can talk to Plato. And so the intersection of all these technologies of the AI, VR, and crypto is like going to be so massively valuable. And so now, like, it just requires people like that Steve Jobs that saw the Palo Alto Research Center and was like, this is obviously the future, we have to bring it happen, we have to make it happen. And then he worked on the Macintosh. So bringing all these strands together, like talked about choosing your frequency, or like cultivating your frequency, or like resetting your frequency through somatic therapy, or through dance, or through exercise. That's how we can. And we really, each one of us has so much potential. We are only limited by our own limited self-image, our own limited self-identity, and thinking that, oh, we're not smart enough to learn this skill, we're not smart enough to learn how to code or build a giant multiplayer game, or we're not smart enough to like make a business that is just makes millions of dollars per year. All these we are just limited by our imagination and our ability to create this kind of state, self-image, and frequency, and like believe in it. So that's the intersection of that. And then like VR games, where you have another layer of like value, and people can interact with AIs like entities and be guided by them and have personalized tutoring. So that's just, intersects with that ability to unlock your own human potential. So having this tool to unlock humanity's potential, this kind of like 3D VR immersive world, would be so. It's probably like the highest value impact thing I can work on. So that's what I'm thinking a lot about and working on these days. So as always, ending these vlogs with a couple of seconds meditation of sending peace, love, and frequency, and peace and love frequencies to the listener and to the world. Have a great day. Peace.